Many, she continues to push boundaries both in and out of the cage. And as Kembul mentioned, and Osman is Sabahan. So it's really very special to welcome her back to her homeland for today's sharing. So ladies and gentlemen, get ready to give your thunderous applause to join me in welcoming Malaysia's first female MMA fighter, and Osman.
How's everyone doing today?
Good! Very good! Excellent! Oh, yes.
I've been doing a lot of talk for Prudential. I always get that greeting. Thank you so much. So as introduced, I'm an record and the statistic, there's nothing much that I could boast against this world champion. And people who knew my opponent was messaging me, telling me that I'm going to lose. I had teammates who shared that same concern, telling me that, ni tayo boleh pakai ni, ko mismatch ni. That they knew, they believed that I was going to lose that fight, that I was just used, kanasimakan siya sa mga opponent.
Pakat ka may saba.
Yeah. Kasi masuk siya, pardon my saba. But instead of looking at my opponent, instead of looking at this fight as a threat, where people thought I had chandi, where people thought I was going to lose, I saw this fight. I saw my opponent and this chance to go against a world boxing champion as an opportunity. Because I had nothing to lose and just everything to gain. And I kept that belief, I signed that contract, and I got straight to work. So for those 6 to 7 weeks, I trained hard, almost every day throughout the week, twice a day, working on my game plan, training with my coaches, my teammates, all while on a strict diet of just steamed chicken breast and broccoli. Tell me if you've done that for weeks. So come fight day, as I stood toe to toe against my opponent, in the center of that one championship cage, I threw that first punch, and I knew I got this. So we went the full 3 rounds, 15 minutes in total, and at the end of the round, the announcer read from the scorecard, and the referee raised my hand, and I was announced the winner. What you may see here is the underdog, a rookie winning her first international win against a 2-time world boxing champion. But what many people don't see was those trail of sacrifices, the number of obstacles and barriers that I had to go through to reach where I went, to reach this win. And now the thing here is, if I listen to those people who say, ala tera chan, who didn't believe that I could win, even teammates said, kanasimakan siya dili. And if I believe those self-doubts that start creeping in, I'd probably say no to the fight. And I probably would not have that chance. Same direction, so move your shoulders to the right. Senang lakan, easy?
Yes.
All right, now let's go back center. Look to the right, press your chin. Now I want you to move your shoulder to the left, opposite direction. Easy or not?
No.
It's hard, right?
It's gonna break.
Where your head goes, the body follows. And this is not just a technique, it's a concept in life. It's that whatever thoughts that you have in your mind, those beliefs, okay, what are beliefs? Things yang kita percaya. The beliefs that we build since we were small, our environment, the experiences we go through build our beliefs. And if we don't notice them, they control everything, every action, every words that we say. It controls the way that we behave. And when your beliefs control the way you behave, it controls the results that you bring to the world. So, why our beliefs are important? And this is backed by science. Okay? In our brain, there's this thing called reticular activating system, or RAS. Okay? We have our own filtering system in our brain. And science says is that this RAS system filters everything we spot in the world. And it's based on the beliefs that we have. So if we think that the market is too hard, the target's too high, you will start behaving in that way. The way that your brain, the RAS works, is that if you think that things are hard, you'll start spotting that. Okay? Your brain sendiri will find proof to support the beliefs that you have. But if you think, I can make it for the final sprint, I can go to Guangzhou, there's always someone who wants to buy something from me, you will start spotting opportunities. Because that's how we're built. And that's how your beliefs actually shape your reality. But the good news here is, we have control over the beliefs that we want to choose. Okay? Maybe we have grown up in an environment that has built limiting beliefs for us. For me, I've never trained martial arts. My mom never got me into karate ka, taekwondo ka. But if I thought that, sit in a background martial art, I cannot train, I would probably not be standing here today, sharing with you my story of making it as Malaysia's first female MMA. So, what I want you to think about is to recognize and notice what are the beliefs that you have. Are they the ones that push you forward? Or are they beliefs have been holding you back? You want to think about going to Guangzhou? I was really attracted to that lah. Or to the final sprint? You need to first think that you can make it. That there's someone out there who wants to buy from you, that you have the ability, and if you don't have the ability now, you can build the ability today. So it all starts from here. Before you can go out there to win, you need to first win here, in your own mind. Now, just now I saw all the great things that Kian Bun has presented. That's amazing, right? Amazing ka tidak?
Amazing.
Yes.
All right. So much lucrative rewards. And it's always like that, right? When you plan something exciting, you see where the start is. Like, okay, I've gotta make my calls like this. Okay, you see the start. I want to make it to the final sprint. You see to the end. You see the end, the celebration, the claps, the rewards. But between the start and the finish, there is this space in between that I call the messy middle. And what the messy middle is, this long phase. And you've probably experienced it. You are champions here. You're all toppers. You've gone through the grind. You've gone through knowing what you need to do to reaching it. But in between is all the hard work. Sometimes, or most times, it is where it is the most quiet. For example, during fight camp, right, when I prepare for my fight, let's see, play it again. Right? Okay. So every time that I prepare for my fight, during fight camp, it's not easy. 6 to 7 weeks, sometimes 4 weeks, sometimes 8 weeks. As soon as I sign the fight contract, I know who my opponent is, how much USD I'm going to win. If I win, and the bonus that I'm going to receive, it looks amazing. And then I go for media junket, go to interview, go on magazine, go on TV. Amazing, people are clapping for you. Then fight camp begin. That's where you train. Wake up early in the morning. It's much easier to wake up early in the morning in the beginning than it is when you're in week 3, week 4, when your body is tired, when nobody is there for you, when you have to go out in the morning or sometimes under the hot sun, run alone, stick to a diet of steamed chicken breast and broccoli. It's much easier to do that in the beginning, but as time goes by, when things start to get slow, that's where the messy middle begins. Motivation fades. You start thinking, how can I get out of this? Can I win ka? Can I cancel my fight ka? As I stand here trying to motivate you, I tell you honestly, I have gone through that. And in your case, in your arena, in your fight, it is those moments where you face rejection after rejection, where you send proposals and they ghost you, where things start to become quiet, when things start to feel slow. So how do we win this phase? How do we get out of that messy middle? And at first, for me, is to reconnect back to why I am doing this. You hear this all the time. Have your why. What's your big why? It sounds a bit cliche. But why is it important? Why is it important to have your why? Because it brings back, it shifts you from feeling that hard, tough moment, that pressure, into feeling that purpose again. You know why you want to do this. You know why you're in the grind. But you just need to reconnect. You just need to relive it. Remind yourself over and over again. And for me, it's visualizing. I know it feels hard. Imagine having to train 8 hours a day, going back, tidak boleh makan. Bangun pagi, run again, and then only eat steamed chicken breast and broccoli. Doing that every day, day in, day out, for 7 to 8 weeks sometimes. It is tough. And I know, as someone in business, it is tough too, to do the things, to make the calls, to get rejected, to get ghosted. I know how it feels. I'm in business too. But to remind yourself, why am I doing this? I'm doing this to build something for myself. I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this for my children to have better education. To remind yourself, to take yourself out of that tough moment, reconnect with your purpose. And that would help you find your fight spirit and keep it alive. Now, to get out of that messy middle is to also have a system. Because as I mentioned, that messy middle is when motivation starts to go, whoop. You know, people always say, tunggu saya semangat dulu lah, baru saya buat. Betul atau tidak? Ini usually kalau exercise nih. Tunggu saya tidak semangat dulu mau call. It's okay to give yourself grace, but if you want to rely on motivation, you want to realize, tunggu semangat saya pun tidak pandai datang. Motivation is unreliable, I tell you. You can never feel that semangat. Okay, you want to tunggu semangat sampai next year pun tidak. Final sprint jadi final marathon already. So what you need to focus on is having that game plan, the routine. Motivation, tidak selalu boleh pakai. Even as a fighter, mau 3 weeks to my fight, mau semangat, mau tunggu semangat, mau keluar, go jogging sorang-sorang, or sometimes kena matahari, it will never happen. But what I rely on is my routine. Okay, I have this note on my desk until today lah. I don't understand. I mean, it's actually quite vulgar lah. It's like, your feelings and just follow the plan. That means ignore your feelings and follow the plan. When you have a routine, you know motivation goes in and out, you just focus on what you need to do. Do the plan. You have your game plan. I think, what was it? What were you supposed to do? Can someone remind me what you're supposed to do to hit final sprint? Call someone, is it?
Vital behavior.
Vital behavior. Okay, so what is the game plan there? How many people do you have to call every day in order to make the final sprint?
30.
30 calls.
30 calls, 30 new name, 10 presentation.
30 calls, 30 new names,
10 presentations.
10 presentations. Is that easy or hard? It's hard, right? I hear you. I feel you. But you have a game plan set. And if you just, you know what? I don't care about my feelings. All I need to focus in doing what I need to do. You've got to plan the work. You've got the plan. Now, tinggal you want to work the plan. You've got your game plan set. All right, some days you're gonna feel like you wanna do it, but sometimes you don't, but that happens. Now we just gotta ignore that. This is the messy middle. You've got to focus on the things that you need to do. Following up calls, 10 presentation, 30 calls, 30 new names. It doesn't sound exciting, it doesn't sound sexy. But doing those things day in and day out, no matter how you feel, it compounds to real results. And last but not least, there's a lot actually on ways to win the messy middle, but I'll leave you with 3. The third one is celebrating small wins. And what does that look like for you? Even if you make it to Mila, when you make it even to say out of those 30 new names, 1 person calls back. I hope it's more for you. But just celebrating that small wins, all right? Of course, you have the big goals, but just celebrating the small wins will help you feel better, especially getting out that rut, getting out that tough moments. For me, as a fighter, it means cutting my running time, nailing that technique, doing that takedown. Those are small wins for me. I've not won the big win yet, but just those small wins, recognizing them, celebrating them, like, oh, I did that takedown. I did good in my sparring. I tidak kena lock. I tidak kena choke. Those small wins help me to feel better out of that messy middle, and those, again, compound to real results. So in this messy middle, it's not about those agents or fighters who are the most luckiest, who are the most talented, who are able to win this. It is those who are most consistent, right? Who recognize and celebrate their small wins, and that is how you will win that longest phase in the process to success. Now, who here, you're all toppers, you've told me that you went through challenges. Have you gone through losses? How many rejections do you face in a day or in a month? Countless times, right? But you're still here. I've had my fair share of wins and losses as well. But how do we deal with that? Move on, correct. We have 2 choices. I always tell myself, whether in fight in MMA or in business, we always have 2 choices when met with failures or losses. You either stay stuck or you move on. And to fight forward is to move on. But how do we deal with this? Everything that we see, setbacks, challenges, failures, losses, they're all part of the process. They're all part of the journey. We know that. You've all faced that. Everyone that you see, the most successful person, the most MDRT, the most successful agent, or the most whatever, all right? We're all built from a place of failure. They all overcame setback. They decided to move on. And they learned something from it. Because that's the thing about failing. I call this failing forward. How do you leverage your failure? How do I leverage my losses? When I started, like I mentioned to you, when I started competing professionally, my first fight, I kala. Was I crushed? Of course. There was so much hype. Oh, Malaysia's first female MMA fighter, then kala. Of course I felt crushed, right? But instead of thinking, oh, you know what, orang cakap betul lah, I'm from KK, small town girl. If I think like that, small town girl, tidak boleh make it, I don't have much experience I'm not cut out for it, I would stay stuck. I would stay stuck. I would probably just do one fight and then that's it. But instead of thinking that way, I said, you know what? Losses happen. And I'm so grateful because I was surrounded by very positive, very experienced people, coaches and team, who taught me that setbacks is not the end. You can actually leverage this. And what I did is every time after a loss, all right, go back to the drawing board, go back to the gym, and as painful it is, I rewatch my video. I work with my coaches and team, and every time we ask questions, what happened? What happened during this moment? What can I learn from this, and what can I do differently? And that's how you will be able to leverage those losses, leverage failures. And I still do this even as an entrepreneur. I right now currently run a travel business. I have a few businesses that I run right now. And every time that we go through some kind of big challenges, I have businesses that had to close. And of course it feels crushing. But there's always something that you can learn from this. And it doesn't just make me stronger as a fighter, learning, having even just going through that loss, but harvesting that insight. If you have a book for all the 30 names and you ask, if they pass, they become your clients, great. But if they reject you, there's something to learn from that rejection. There's always something to learn. Why is this client what makes this client wanted to reject? What is the reason? Instead of no marah, right? Like, Allah, berbulan-bulan already I kejar this prospect. Maybe ask yourself, why? What could I have done differently? Really, making from setback to feedback, understanding what is the insight, the data that I can get from this rejection. And I've used that in all of my losses, in my fight. Okay, not saying that I have so much losses, but I've had my fair share of losses as well. And every time that I seek feedback from these losses, this setback, it always just makes me a stronger, not only a better fighter, but a stronger person as well. And this is something I want to share with you, that failure is not something to be afraid of. It is something to be learned from. As long as you take time to reflect, as long as you look at this client, okay, you know what? Why? What happened? What can I do differently? And I believe this is a way to improve yourself, not only as an agent, but also as a person. Now, reframing the setback. One of the most powerful tools isn't just about kepandaian or kekuatan, about your strength or your skills. One of the most powerful tools is when you're able to reframe that story you tell yourself. And what I mean by that, I'll share with you another personal story. Again, I feel like stories have lessons, and I'm sharing with you personal stories of mine. So when I started, I told you that I leaped from regional business development manager, I was working the corporate job, going into a career that was so uncertain. And it didn't go as smooth as I thought it was going to be. And I tell you this is that at the time, women was just starting to compete, and us fighters, only when you fight you get paid. And what happened was there weren't a lot of fights. And when there aren't a lot of fights, there aren't a lot of money. And I remember I had a mortgage to pay, bills were stacking up, I was broke. I remember myself laying down on the living room of my apartment living room floor, midnight, waiting for the next fight, thinking, what am I going to do? And I could have told myself, I'm not cut for this, I regret this. And if I think that way, if that's the story that I told myself, I'm still probably stuck on that living room floor. But instead I decided to reframe it and tell myself, okay, I have no fights now, no money coming in. Take this time and space to build something for yourself. I took a pen and paper, tengah malam, thinking about, who do I know? This is a time for me to build something. Who do I know? What skills do I have? And I just started writing. And not long after that, I received an offer to fight. In the middle of a fight camp, I wrote a business proposal, met up with the building manager, and somehow I was able to get a space rent-free for a year. With little equipment, I started my small fitness studio. And from that small fitness studio, it grew to become the businesses that I have today. So some of the things that we have, the thing that I built, the business that I built, came not only from a tough situation, but a scary one for me too. The time that you couldn't pay bills, right? My face was on magazine and whatever you see on media, but I was broke. And I'm telling you this story is that if we think, the story that we tell ourselves really matter, again, our beliefs shape how we act. If I told myself, and sudahlah, I would probably quit from my first fight or my second fight. But I told myself, I have time to build something. I reframed that moment of toughness, moment of a tough situation into an opportunity to build something. And from there, opportunities start coming up. Again, RAS, opportunities you start spotting opportunities. So same thing in your world, as business owners, as entrepreneurs, as agents, as yourself, the story you tell yourself, the beliefs that you have, again, reiterating it, is what is going to help you spot those opportunities. It's the difference between you fighting forward or being stuck. And in my case, was my living room floor. And I thank God that I managed to reframe that story, find ways, and that's why I'm sharing with you my experiences today. So, all these things that I'm sharing with you are not just stories for you to listen, it's not just words for you to hear for today, they are real things. And I want to really make this real for you. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna punch out limiting beliefs. So I've asked you to recognize what beliefs you have. Are they beliefs that is pushing you forward or holding you back? And I want you to do that starting today. Let's turn those insights into action. We're gonna punch out limiting beliefs. Literally, I want 3 volunteers to come here on stage. Can Let's get moving, let's get that momentum. We're gonna call 3 volunteers to be here on stage. Anyone has trained boxing before? Oh, God. Okay, so I am gonna get my sleeves up. Oh, okay, 2. Okay, let's get a lady too, all right? Oh, okay, he's ready. Round of applause. Can I get a mic too? All right, let's turn all these ideas, all these things that I've been sharing with you into real life action. I think I need a mic. Sorry, come up. Don't be shy. Hi. Oh, Leo. Leo from Sabah dari mana? Tambun, kampung saya. So this is Leo. Have you been able to recognize what limiting belief that you want to share with us?
Yes.
All right, what that is.
I always think that I'm just there,
Okay.
like little. I couldn't achieve like those MDRTs, TOTs and all that.
But you're here as a topper, aren't you? Well done to Leo. So Leo said, all this while he had this limiting belief that, coming from, you're based in Tamunan?
Yes, but I'm based in Kuching.
Oh, you're based
but
in
I'm from
Kuching.
Tamunan.
So he said that he's always had this belief that he's just there. But round of applause, he is here actually as a topper. So all that limiting belief you were able to overcome. Great job. All right, so, ano ba kayo gloves? Wala. Okay, can we have 2 more? Maybe a lady also. Come on. Let's say we're 2 more volunteers. Let's go. Okay, where's all those fingers coming up? Oh yes, hi. He's ready to fight. I can see it from his eyes. Oh. Okay, come here. Let's get this side. And who do we have here? Okay, Leo, warm up. You can come here next. Sorry, who's your name? Alex?
Yeah.
All right. Alex from where, Alex?
KK.
KK.
Yeah.
Were you able to think about what limiting belief you want to share with us?
I think it's more of putting an artificial ceiling on yourself. Is that every time you meet someone that they're not likely to need anything from you. So it's talking to them and understanding that what you have is what they actually need instead of what they don't need.
Correct. So there's always something that you can offer.
Yeah.
So Alex said that one limiting belief, sorry if I could emphasize that, one limiting belief he has is that when he meets someone, he's afraid that there's nothing that you can offer. Is that the limiting belief that you have? But again, you're also here as a topper, so obviously you've sold a lot. Right?
Thank you.
So let's punch that out and we're gonna move forward. If you can wear your gloves, we have 1 more volunteer. Round of applause, everyone. We have Leo, Alex, and who's our lady right here representing the women? Hi.
I'm Lin.
Lin.
Yeah, Lin.
Lin. Oh, L-Y-N. Okay,
Yeah.
Lin. Where are you from?
Miri.
Miri. Okay. Hands up, Miri. Hey, where's everybody from
There.
All right. Yeah, Miri. Okay.
One limiting belief is I think that I want to break through my own result, which that I always train off, which is the TOT in our sales. So I want to push over to that level
Yeah, you can do it, right? Can Lynn do it or not?
Yes.
Come on, semangat. Yes, she can. All right, so what we're gonna do, you're gonna wear gloves here. Hallie's gonna help you with it. Okay, don't think these three only do. Everyone will do. So what we're gonna do a warm-up round. So everyone else's role here is that you're gonna be the corners. And what corners are in a fight are those people shouting, giving instruction, motivating the fighters in the cage. And here, the shout would be fight forward. Can you do that? Okay, Magi-chan, come on, fight forward.
Fight forward!
Fight forward.
Fight forward!
All right, but also corners are teammates who train together. So during this practice round, let's have them here. Let's start with Leo, Lynn, and Alex. Okay, any one of you have done boxing before? No. All right, but Leo obviously has a little bit. Okay, don't worry. That's why they need to practice, and they're gonna practice with all of you here. All right, so we're gonna get you to stand up. We're gonna learn some boxing. For those who have trained boxing, this is just training for you lah. For those who have never trained boxing, I'm honored to be your first boxing coach. All right, so what we're gonna do here, give some space. You don't try to get this chance to punch your bosses. Also give space to each other first. We're gonna do our practice round. So we're gonna train together. We're gonna be in guard here, hands up. All right, you just keep square, okay? So we're gonna start with the jab, that's your left. I'm gonna jab, straight punch, bring it back. Cross, straight punch, now bring it back. Now when you do faster, jab, cross, jab, cross. Okay? These hoppers are really fast learners. Okay, jab, cross. Now we're gonna do a hook, and that is making like a curved punch. Stop in front of the nose, bring it back. Okay, left hook, bring it back. Right hook, bring it back. Now we're gonna do an uppercut. Wait, first let's practice the hook. Left, right. Yeah, left, right, everybody. Now uppercut. You're gonna bring here, lean your body to the left a bit, punch up. Stop at the nose, bring it back. Lean your body to the right a bit, uppercut, right. All right, practice uppercuts, left, right. Good, now put it all together, boleh?
Boleh.
Can or not?
Yeah.
All right, jab, cross, hook, hook, uppercut, uppercut. Now give me two more. Jab, cross, hook, hook. Woo, uppercut, uppercut. Everyone looking great. Last one. Jab, cross, hook, hook, uppercut, uppercut. All right, great job, teammates in corners. You can have a seat or you can stand. Your job next is to cheer on Alex, Lynn, and Leo. You're gonna call fight forward. They're gonna box with me, okay? All right, so let's have Alex first. He's gonna punch out his limiting belief, and I want you to imagine you punching out your limiting belief too. Let's have Alex. Round of applause, Alex! Okay, let's start. So just follow my call. If I say jab, let's give it a try first. Jab, boom, cross, boom, hook, boom, and then hook, uppercut. Yeah? Yeah, all right. Now's the real time to fight, okay? Fight forward!
Fight forward!
Okay, let's go. Jab, cross, hook, hook, uppercut, uppercut. Let's go, faster. Boom, 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 boom. Good. All right, good job. Cross, boom. Let's have Lynn. Round of applause for Alex.
Lynn!
Now for Lynn, where's our Miri? Come on, corner, shout, fight forward.
Fight forward!
Let's break that TOT, right?
Come on, Lynn.
Okay, let's go. Jab, boom, cross, hook, hook, uppercut, uppercut. Back here, go. Jab, cross, hook, hook, uppercut, uppercut. Nice. Cross again. Hey, sorry, cross here. Boom. All right, good job. Round of applause. Now we have Leo. Think about that limiting belief. Come on, KK. Hey, wait, kuching is it? Yeah, kuching. Fight. Fight. Let's go, hands up. Go, jab. Boom, cross, hook, hook, uppercut, uppercut. This one, go. Jab, cross, boom, boom, hook, hook, uppercut, uppercut, cross. Boom, good job. All right, thank you so much. Leo, Lynn, and Alex, round of applause again. I want one more cheer. Can you say fight?
Fight forward!
Now, it was my taker. Okay, I got it. That was amazing. That was great energy to start off. Okay, now I feel like you're all pumped up. Everyone's ready to fight forward, and you punch out that limiting belief. Okay, they're starting to fight. No fighting allowed. Now, anyway. Now, before I leave this stage, I do want to recap back on those messages, the 3 core messages that I want to leave you here today. And the first one is about how your beliefs shape your reality. And we've done that activity where we want to punch out limiting beliefs, but that first requires you to audit the beliefs that you have. Think about, are those beliefs that you have right now aligned with where you want to be? Or are they still holding you back? Okay? Are the toppers that we had here, the 3 volunteers have proved that they have overcome those past beliefs, but I want you to take a moment to think back. Are the beliefs that you have aligned with where you want to go? Now, the second message, win the messy middle. We've all gone through that long phase where things feel tough, but as long as you remember the purpose, remember your why, lean back on your routine, not motivation, and celebrate the small wins every day. That is going to get you out of that pressure, that grind, that rut, no matter how hard it's going to be. Last but not least, find meaning in challenges. Turn that setbacks into feedbacks. Turn those moments of failures into something that's going to help you be better, as long as you harvest insight from it. Ask yourself, what can I do? What happened? What can I learn from this? And how can I do things differently? So thank you so much, Prudential, for having me. I hope that these messages will help you keep fighting forward and win beyond the odds that might come and help you achieve your win. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Anne. And kindly remain on stage as we would like to present a token of appreciation to you. Now, we'd like to invite Frank to be up on stage to present the token to Anne. Let's give Frank a big round of applause. And let's capture this beautiful moment. Thank you so much, Anne. Thank you so much, Frank. The sharing was truly inspirational. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue to conquer all our fears and aim for our greater heights in our next quarters, right? Okay, so before we proceed to our next segment, which is lunch, I have a very